Hey there, my name is Sarah and I've had chronic spontaneous urticaria for 14 years, and I want to share with you today some things that I wish that the people in my life knew about what it's like to live with chronic hives. So first I want to clarify that chronic hives are not caused by an allergy. Chronic hives are actually caused by an autoimmune condition, and it causes our bodies to spontaneously release histamine and other chemical mediators from our mast cells. So it's like our immune system is always on overdrive. It's almost like being allergic to yourself. And it's not caused by stress, but stress can exacerbate our symptoms and make those mast cells more easily degranulate and release more histamine. So stress can impact symptoms, but it's not a cause. And we have mast cells all throughout our bodies, so it's a lot more going on than just hives. So in addition to the hives, people have systemic symptoms. So you can have brain fog and fatigue. A lot of people have wheezing, shortness of breath. You can have gastrointestinal issues, even bladder issues, bladder frequency, joint pain is very common. So there's a lot more going on than just a rash. And speaking of the rash, imagine having a really bad sunburn with a whole bunch of mosquito bites. And that's kind of what it feels like to have chronic urticaria. So it's not just the itching, it's also burning of the skin. Sometimes you get a lot of swelling too that goes along with it. If you could just imagine living like that day in and day out, or just never knowing when that's going to happen to you, it's a really overwhelming and frustrating condition to live with. And although it is not an allergy, some dietary changes can make a difference in our symptoms. So a person might decide to cut out gluten and dairy, or go on a low histamine diet, or an autoimmune protocol diet. And all of these things can help reduce our inflammation and reduce the histamine level in our bodies. It doesn't mean they're allergic to these foods, but they can cause a flare-up, which obviously causes some pretty miserable symptoms. So they're not just being trendy or trying to be a pain in the butt, being picky about their food. It really impacts how they're feeling. And there are a lot of different things that trigger hives. And so that can be really overwhelming. Simple things that you don't have to think about, like getting dressed in the morning, can be a big deal and take a little bit more thought when you have chronic urticaria. Too much pressure from your shoes or from a bra line or a pant seam can cause a flare. Fragrances, perfumes can cause a flare. So if you're wearing fragrance, then the person who has chronic urticaria might react to that. I think the most important thing to know if you have somebody in your life who has this disease is that it can be very isolating and very depressing, and quality of life scores in chronic urticaria patients are similar to those who have heart disease. It impacts so many aspects of our lives. Oftentimes people in our lives just don't understand, because they don't understand the disease and they don't understand that we have all these triggers and the mental toll that it takes on us. And I have had many people reach out to me and say that they're suicidal, and I actually felt that way at one point as well in my journey, and that's very common in our communities. So please just be there to offer support. And if somebody says, hey, could you not wear that fragrance, or something like that, then please be understanding that it really does contribute to symptoms. So I wanted to keep this brief. I just wanted to make sure that you understand that chronic urticaria is a lot more than just hives, and there's a lot more going on there. But if you have any specific questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. Okay, take care.